Hi friends, welcome back to Rustic and Lace DIY. I am so glad you are all here today. I've got just another great video for you. I hope you enjoy it. But first of all, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Brenda. And if you're returning, you guys are the best. So with all that being said, let's get to crafting. Okay, here's DIY number 1. So for this DIY, I'm going to use my Waverly chalk paints in the color Plaster and Pumpkin. I'm going to use this DIY paint called Apothecary. I got this from Sammy with Unicorn Dust Designs. And then I created these decals with my Cricut. And then I'm going to use 3 of these large like cutting board signs from Dollar Tree. So I start off by removing the little pie cutout that's on the top of each one, and then just trying to pull off the paper. And oh my gosh, this one was really hard to get any kinds of paper to pull up. It took me a while to get it up. As you can see, I was really struggling. But then the glue, I don't know if they've got better glue or what, but I ended up just using my little Cricut spatula here and just kind of scratched and scratched until I was able to pull it all up. Then I sprayed it down with my water, and I did this in all 3. I spritzed it all down with water, let it sit for about 5 minutes, and then I took my paint scraper here and just removed the extra backing of the paper with the glue, and then I did use some Goo Gone and a paper towel to get it all off. After that, I measured 2 of the boards. I measured one at 17 inches here, and I'm just going to draw a line across. And the next one I measured at 14 inches and then drew a line. And then I'm going to take an X-Acto knife, no, not X-Acto, my box cutter, and I am just scoring it. And I don't know, I had to score it quite a bit. As you can see, I kept kind of playing with it, but once it was almost all the way through, then it would break pretty easily, and you'll see that here in just a moment. There, see, it snapped, and I just kind of trimmed off the little excess that it left. And then once I was done with that, I painted the longer one with my plaster, the medium-sized one with pumpkin, and then the smaller one with the Apothecary. Now, if you don't have the DIY paint, you could always substitute it for celery or agave with Waverly. So then after they were all dry, I took Waverly in the color Elephant, and I just did some distressing over all of the pumpkins. And then I am taking my first decal here, and I'm adding it to the medium-sized pumpkin. These are pumpkins, in case you didn't notice. And then I'm taking the other words here and putting it on the smaller pumpkin. And once I had those all on, then I laid them out the way I wanted them. And I'm taking a pencil here and just kind of marking and tracing out where they're going to lay, so that way I know where to put my glue and then where to place those back on. So here I'm just using my Tight Bond multi-purpose glue on the both areas where I marked, and then I went over it with my hot glue as well, and I'm just going to add my pumpkins together. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Now, for this project, this is a hanging project, but you could always add like tumbling tower blocks or something if you wanted this to be a standing item. I thought about doing it that way, and I changed my mind at the last minute. So I took some of this ribbon. Both these ribbons came from Hobby Lobby. I got them as they were 40% off. I made bows doing the awareness ribbon, scrunching them up in the middle, attaching the 2, and then wrapping some twine around them. Then I'm just going to dovetail the ends by folding the end together and cutting at an angle. And then I'm just going to hot glue it right to the top of that white pumpkin. After that, I'm going to make a finger bow. I'm just going to wrap my fingers with that twine about 4 times. This is a quadruple finger bow. And then you want to cut off an extra long tail there, and then come up and wrap it around those loops over your fingers. Come right back around and go through that loop that you just created, and then pull tight. After that, I made 2 of those. Then I took some of these leaves. I got these from Amazon a couple years ago. It comes in a pack of 500 and they have lasted me forever. And I hot glued them on the orange and green pumpkin, and then added those finger bows, and then added a hanger. And there it is. Oh, I added some little pumpkins. These are wood pumpkins on sticks from Hobby Lobby to cover the holes of that were on the top of those. And I just love how this turned out. You have to let me know what you think about this one in the comment box below. And I want to take this moment, as usual, to really thank all my viewers. You guys are awesome. You mean the world to me. And if you're new here and enjoyed today's video, I'd invite you to hit that red subscribe button before you go. And then make sure you guys give me that thumbs up and comment and watch the ads. That really does help my channel grow. And if you'd like to follow me on social media, you can find the links to those accounts as well as my affiliate accounts in the description box below. Okay, here's DIY number 2. Aren't they cute? I am going to use my Waverly chalk paint in the color Cashew. I'm going to use some of my paint markers. I'm going to use 2 of these small candy jars from Dollar Tree. Now they have bigger ones and they have the smaller ones. These are the smaller ones. I'm going to use some burlap that I have had in my stash. I think I got it from Hobby Lobby in their clearance section. And then some wheat picks and some flour picks from Dollar Tree. So I'm going to start off by removing all the little stickers that are on each one of these jars. And they're pretty easy to take off. Then I took the top piece off of the lid, and then I'm cutting that piece with some pruning shears, and then I just placed it. I'm going to place it on the bottom of my candy jar. I'm using Fix-All glue from Dollar Tree and hot glue, and just laying it right on the bottom. Then I painted both of those with my Cashew color, and then once they were dry, I took my pencil and I am just drawing out a face, and I do this on both of them. Now I use a pencil because I'm not great at drawing, and so as you can see here, I had to kind of erase some areas, so that's why I use the pencil. And then I make a nose, and then I'm gonna make a big old smile. And see here again, I'm like, oh no, I don't want it straight across. I want it to be a little more up. So then I took my markers and I am painting in all of what I just drew. So I'm coloring in the eyes with my black, and my black was not wanting to work, so I kept having to dab it. But anyways, after I had that done, I took this, I went over the mouth here. This marker has a fine point and a medium point, so I switched it over to the fine to go around the nose area, and that was the fine was really giving me problems. I think it must be drying out. Then I took my Arteza marker in the color, I don't know, bright orange or something, and I'm coloring in the nose. Then I took my markers again, and I decided to make little eyelashes for the female, because one's a boy, one's a girl. Then I'm going to color in, I guess I'm going to make little lines across the mouths first. Then I took my white marker and I colored in just some little areas on the bottom and then little dots on the top. I took a pink color marker and I'm just coloring in some cheeks for the female. I did not do this for the male. Then I took one of these hula skirts from Dollar Tree and I cut it down to where there was like 3 strands. You can tell there's 3 separate strands that have like 2 or 3 strands on each set. And I'm just taking them and I am just going to braid, and I make 2 braids. And once I had it all braided, I used some twine to keep that tied in place. And I was just measuring there, making sure it was the right length. Decided I needed to cut it up a little bit more, make it a little shorter. And then I am going to just trim off that excess, and I just kind of unravel the bottom part there. I made 2, and then I'm just going to hot glue them, 1 on each side. And then I took some more of that hula skirt pieces that I cut off, and I'm just going around the front, hot gluing it. I probably should have made it a little thicker. It's kind of hard to see. It doesn't stand out as much, but you know what? I still love it. I trimmed it down so it had bangs, and then I went ahead and added some more, just going all the way to the braids. Now on the male, I didn't add braids, of course, but I did just cut some or add some of the hula skirt around for bangs. Then I took some of my burlap here and I'm just wrapping it around the lid area where the lid would go on these candy jars, just kind of going all the way around, also so you don't see the top parts of the hula skirt. And then I'm going to hot glue that together. And then I made a little bow, just a regular shoestring bow, and out of this ribbon from Dollar Tree, put it on the head of the female, and then I took some more of this ribbon, wrapped it around the neck part of the male. Then I just took some and just made a knot in the middle of it. I'm going to cut it down. I'm going to dovetail the ends. And then I just made another little shoestring bow, kind of just like you would make a shoe, like you tie your shoes. I make a bow that way, and I'm going to trim it and dovetail the ends as well. I'm going to put the bow on the neck of the girl, and then I'm going to put the little knotted, it's supposed to be kind of like a tie, on the bottom part of the male. And then I did add a few little sunflowers to the female, and I just filled them. The boy I filled with some wheat picks, and the female I put some wheat picks, but mainly sunflowers. And I love how these came out. They are just so adorable. Look how cute they are. You have to let me know what you think about this one as well in the comment box below. Okay, it is a time for celebration of your recreations, and Jane has been busy. Look at all these wonderful little projects she created. Thank you so much, Jane. I really appreciate you sharing them with us. And if you have a creation or recreation that you would like me to showcase for you, I am always more than happy to showcase them for you. So you can send me pictures to that email address that's listed right there, or you can send me pictures through Instagram or Facebook Messenger. And again, I love getting these pictures and seeing what everyone else is creating. Okay, here is DIY number 3. So for this DIY, I'm going to use my Decor metallics in the color Worn Penny. I'm going to use some of these wood pumpkins from Dollar Tree. These are 1.5-inch letters from Hobby Lobby. It comes in a big pack. And then these are some 1-inch letters from Hobby Lobby. This also comes in a big pack. So I'm going to also use this, it's like 12 by 12 wood canvas. Normally it's in the Dollar Tree Plus section for $3. They've marked it down for $1.25 because I've heard that they're getting rid of their craft section for the Plus section. So I laid the letters all out like I wanted them. And then I'm holding them down and I'm just kind of putting a little pencil mark underneath each so I know where to lay them again for gluing purposes. And then I did that as well for the pumpkins. Once I was done with that, I just took my hot glue and I just started going around the back of each of my letters and laid them all back in place using those pencil marks that I made as my guide to where I want to lay them down. And we'll get done here in a minute. I actually got this idea from a picture from Hobby Lobby. It says Farm Fresh Autumn Harvest, I think is what it says. And I thought that doesn't make sense to me. So I made my own, but I loved the copper picture that they have. And I wanted to kind of just create my own. And that's why I decided to do this one. And here on the pumpkins, I used my Titebond glue and hot glue, as you can see. Then once those were all adhered on, I took my Worn Penny and I just started brushing all over each of the letters and the background of this picture. And this is super easy. It did take a little bit of time to get all that painted in, but it wasn't bad. But anyways, it super easy project, but I love the way it came out. I was going to use this for a different project. I haven't been feeling very good the last few days, so I decided, well, since this was already done, I would just go ahead and include it in today's video. But here I am just finishing up all of that color, and then I didn't show this, but I did paint the back and the sides of that frame with my Waverly chalk paint in the color ink. So once everything was all dry, I took some of this ribbon. This is really thin ribbon. I've had it in my stash forever. I think I probably got it at Walmart. And I'm just making 2 little shoestring bows, just like you see. I'm going to trim off the ends here, and then I'm just going to cut the ends at a diagonal, because ends that, ribbon that thin, it's almost impossible to do a dovetail. So I'm just cutting them at an angle. And then once I had both of them made, I'm just going to hot glue them over the stems of the pumpkins there to cover that little ornament hole. If you don't want to have bows, you could always fill in the holes with spackling if you have some. I've even seen people use hot glue to fill it in before you paint as well. After that was done, I just took my staple gun here and just stapled in some jute rope for a hanger. I have the ruler there, so I kind of know about the area that I wanted to put those. And there it is. Very simple. I think it's very pretty. I love it. You have to let me know what you think about this one as well. Okay, here's DIY number 4. This is another really easy one for you guys. I am going to use my Waverly chalk paint in the color Plaster. I'm going to use one of these rub-on transfers. I just recently ordered these off of Amazon. I'll give you my ideas on them in a minute. And then one of these little MDF pumpkins from Dollar Tree. So again, I started off by trying to remove all of that sweet word. It was not wanting to come off. I was hoping to save it, but no, it was unsavable. And then I'm going to tear off the paper just like I did on the very first one. But like I said, I think I don't know if it's the newer stuff, if they're using stronger glue, but it was a little harder to get off. But I did eventually get off that top layer, and then I just spritzed it down with water again, let it sit for a couple of minutes, and then scrape it off with my paint scraper there. Then I painted both sides with my plaster color, and I have to tell you, the MDF on this was really rough. When I painted, it just didn't look very good, but I ended up having to use the back instead of the front because it just was so rough looking. So I took this rub-on transfer, and I have to tell you, the transfer piece that you put on, that you pull off, is really sticky, and I wasn't very happy with this. I was like, I don't know if I like this kind of rub-on transfer, but it was really hard to pull it off, and it pulled off my paint. So I don't know if I'd recommend these. I'm probably not going to put them in my store, even though the colors and everything are so pretty. I just don't like how hard it was to pull this part off, and then the fact that it pulled up my paint. So I did have to go back and touch up the areas that it pulled off the paint. See all that? So once I had that all touched up and it was all dry, I decided it needed some more color. So I took my Folk Art acrylic paint in the color True Burgundy and a very small paintbrush, and I just went along and made stitch lines around my pumpkin, and I just thought, oh, that looks so much better. Then I took some of that Apothecary and painted in the stem, but I just did not like the way that looked, so I changed it out for that True Burgundy. I took some raffia, put it together, wrapped a little piece of raffia around it, and trimmed it, and then hot glued it to the top. Then I took some of these wood leaves I get from Hobby Lobby. They come in a big pack of them. And I'm just going to hot glue them on to add a little bit of dimension on this sign. And then I took another one and added it right in the middle of my raffia. And that's all there was. Super easy, but I think it's super cute. And you know what? I am not a gnome person. I really don't like gnomes, but I just thought that one was really cute. You have to let me know what you think about this one as well. And the final reveal is coming up. So again, make sure you guys give me that thumbs up and comment. And if you are new here and enjoyed today's video and like home decor on a budget, make sure you hit that subscribe button before you go. I will be back again on Thursday with another video. I think I'm going to have a special collaboration, so just stay tuned, I think, unless it changes, but we're planning on it, so we'll see if it happens. It may change, but have those notification bells set and ready, and I really hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.